Jolan Tru Centurions, and welcome to Season 8 of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I am Tirak, and we will begin the Romulan campaign. Yes, the Romulan Star Empire, the 8th of the major empires playable in this game, and we will be dueling against the Federation of Planets, and I have been thinking about this continuously, and the Federation does not have plasma torpedoes, and we will. Plasma torpedoes are exceedingly powerful, and so, for our final season, and we may come to regret this, we're going to set the skill level to Admiral, just to sort of make things, I guess, a little bit more fair. But we will see. Maybe we'll get totally outgunned, outnumbered, and destroyed. But, be that as it may, it is what we shall attempt, and maybe it'll actually make the campaign last a little bit longer. So let us begin the new campaign. Ante-Tribune, we commend you on the beginning of your first command. May you cement our victories, blaze forth in conquest, and rise to the ranks of the Romulan Empire. You stand at the forefront of history, whose wake spreads widely behind you. Drive it forward into a new era of greatness. Victory is rewarded by prestige. Your prestige is the coin with which you will resupply your vessel, and bid on those ships that will become available in the shipyards. It leads to promotion and enhancements to your command. Your career will grind to an ignoble halt if you fail to gain prestige. You know full well that only the protection for our homeworld is to surround it with space that is dominated by our fleet. Beyond the colonies are frontiers which act as buffer zones. Those frontiers, which must be constantly expanded, have to be policed without mercy. Beyond our impregnable borders are the unknown reaches of deep space. It is essential that we gain a foothold in these sectors in order to ensure the safety of the Empire. Commanders who establish that foothold often sacrifice their lives for Romulus. So, we begin a brand new campaign as Lieutenant Commander Tirak in the destroyer RIS Gigas. Although we're in a destroyer? Really? Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised about that. We did start in the early era. So, interesting. So we are the RIS Gigas, which according is a K5R, a Klingon vessel. Ooh. So we need to go over to, not a battle station, not frigate, actually we'll be in frigate. The K5R frigate, it is one of the Klingon sort of, I guess, loaner ships? Not really a loaner. We traded with them. We gave them stealth technology, and they gave us engine designs and, well, spacecraft. We are not particularly well armed. We have 2 phaser 1s, 3 phaser 2s, and 2 plasma Fs. This ought to be interesting. Let's see if we can get out of this ship as soon as possible. The ship we're going to be aiming after is a KR, which is basically a Klingon D7 with plasma torpedoes. So now that we have our knowledge of what we're doing and the target we're going at, and we get to see the beautiful starting map, let us set out into space and make our name, or for the glory of Romulus. And we shall start our very first patrol of Season 8. Let's see what they throw at us. Task of patrolling. Federation vessels. Excellent. Exactly who we want to duel with. Hit that red alert. All hands to battle stations. Let's see what kind of speed we can get out of this ship. It is a Klingon design, which does mean that it will have superior engines to our home-built Romulan vessels. Although because it's a destroyer, it takes 0.5 points of energy to move instead of 0.3. So a little less efficiency there. And as you can see, we are painted in glorious Romulan green. And a record of the Romulan Star Empire, Deep Space Patrol. Enemy, yep, there we go. Enemy frigate. It's the first one, and it appears to be the little squat mushroom-looking frigate. It is so cute-looking. I can't get over it. USS Burke, according to this name, although that's not entirely what it's supposed to be called. Let's find out exactly what it is. It is an FLG, a Federation flag ship. So let's sort of set the range going. Now, what's our cloaking cost? I forgot to check that. That could be a problem. So we need to figure out, it'll be in the ECM panel, and I think, there it is. Let's see what happens if we click the cloaking button. Ooh, spooky. Are we still charging this, or are we unloading it? Please tell me we're still charging it. Yes, we are. Okay, so we can be cloaked, traveling at a speed of 15, as long as the phaser capacitor is fully charged. So that'll work out kind of nicely. And, yeah, let's just sort of wallow around, waste some time while our plasma torpedoes charge. He will have a wild weasel ready by the time we're ready to go for him, so he will dump that. That'll cut down on the amount of firepower that we can do to him. Now, the advantage of having a having a cloaking device is the fact that it's much harder for him to hit us, so we can sort of work under wraps for a little while. On the downside, we can't shoot weapons while we're cloaked. And decloaking basically makes us super vulnerable because we can't shoot and we are easy to shoot at. Not any easier than normal, but we're not protected by the cloak while we're decloaking. So we're probably going to try and work around the edges just a little bit. As long as we're cloaked, he won't be able to fire his missiles. Oh, he doesn't have one. Okay. So I was thinking a more powerful version. He is pumping 4 points of energy into his ECM. I can't blame him too much, but we do want to get on his tail, and we are in a Klingon vessel. So as we are a Klingon ship, we have great maneuverability, and we're going to make advantage of that and the fact that we are cloaked to basically work our way onto his tail, or at least we would try if he wasn't going actual massive amounts of speed. So, if he's going to pull away from us, yeah, so let's come out of cloak soon. What's the arc on our plasma torpedoes? So it's a forward narrow arc, but we are pulling around on this corner, and now he's soaring away from us. He wants to build in the distance, so he's not stupid, which is a nice change, I guess. Decloak the vessel. Come out of cloak, stop putting energy into that useless cloaking device, as we shall now engage with our most powerful weaponry. So we need to be within a range of 10 in order for the plasma torpedoes to have their maximum effect. And we're just working through this one at a time. We don't want to spook that wild weasel. First one hit him, second one point blank, phasers to follow it up, and we caused quite a bit of damage there. 22 right on through. We've shocked a whole bunch of systems offline, destroyed one of his phaser ones. That's going to be important. So, 1 needs to be phasers, please. 2, 3 phaser mounts. So I want that on 1, and 2 is the plasma torpedoes. I really should separate these out. So you're 3, and you're 2. So 1, 2, 3. That way we don't end up spam firing both of our plasma torpedoes, and then, you know, horrible things happen to us. Our phasers are about to come back online, so we'll be able to blink away again. And he's patching his phasers. Do we want to shoot at this range? Not really. I want to get a little bit closer, deal a little bit more damage. It will take 3 turns for these plasma torpedoes to charge, and yeah, they're not charging quick, but that's fully normal for plasma torpedoes. We're going to circle on in. Oh, you can already see the damage on the exterior of the ship. Those plasma torpedo ships hits were huge. So closing in on the Vega and hit them with everything that we've got, and then we'll hit them with the stern firing weapons, because we have 3 phaser 2s that are kind of mounted back here. So they only hit our tail. It's mostly for point defense. But in this case, it allows us to take advantage of our higher maneuverability to work both arcs. Now, I do want to focus our forward shields on our reinforcement on just the forward shield, since it's low at this time, and he hits that most often. We need to kill a little time before our phasers come back online. Our port side phasers, ironically, can shoot to starboard, and our starboard side phasers can shoot to port. Oh, crap, we got to break from this. Blast everything you've got, and if you're going to hold me here, I'm going to hit you with a plasma torpedo. And he did break off, but please tell me I got the timing. Not quite. Okay, stern firing phasers. Fire in through that hole, cause some damage to him. So he grabbed us to fire his weaponry at us, but that's not a huge deal. He wasn't able to punch through anything. And both of our plasma torpedoes are now online. We are on the side that he doesn't have an active phaser on. So 1, and prep the second one. Wait for it to hit. And now 2. Alright, excellent hits right there, and massive amounts of damage. That plasma torpedo hit up here and splashed across the entire top of the saucer section. He has lost all of his phasers except for a single starboard-mounted phaser 1, and we're on his port side. Do we want to try and steal you? I think we'll only have like 2 transporters. Yeah, we only have 2, and he has 22 people on board. What the heck? So this is some kind of troop transport. Gonna have to pay a little bit of attention to that. We're not going to let him do that. So, all weapons select. Not that we have anything except the phasers, and I think this might finish him off. Let's find out. Nope, not quite, but fire the stern ones now. Come on, right on through. There we go. And then the Federation frigate annihilated. A good engagement by us, well executed. So, this K5R proving to be a decent vessel, although not fantastic because it relies so heavily on its plasma torpedoes instead of being able to, you know, mix it up a little bit. So we'll press out into the neutral zone, a very dangerous area of space, and just sort of poke around, see what we run into. Never know, could be monsters hiding out here. So we'll increase our speed up to our 15 we can maintain, I believe. Yeah, that'll put us in 19.8, and so if we drop down 2, we can prep a Wild Weasel, but we don't need it because the Federation, well, they don't really use a whole lot of missiles in this era, and they don't have any other weapons that we would, avoid with it. So for now, we can pretty much ignore shuttles. Later on, we may want to start prepping Wild Weasels as a scatter pack defense, but for now, we should be good. Fleet screen tells me that you are a... Oh, that's not the fleet screen. That's the fleet screen. You're an FFG, so you will have a missile launcher. Okay, so remember everything that I just said about how we don't need this? He could potentially have a scatter pack, and scatter packs would be bad. We're escorted, of course, today by the culprit, a Romulan tender, some sort of refueling vessel. Probably for us. I mean, we are a short-range frigate, and there is a random Orion that decided to get involved in this battle. So we're going to focus on you for a little bit, and we'll drop 2 points of speed so that we can cloak properly. And we'll go into the ECM panel, and... figure we had to listen to the sound effect at least once. So we'll also take this time, the forward reinforcement to maximum, and cycle the battery, just in case. We only have 2 points of power in the battery anyway, and I am really going to have to look up the cloaking hotkey, because I assume it's going to come up a lot. So plasma torpedoes still fully charging. Let's increase the speed of time. We may as well. We're not engaging him, and this frigate, hopefully we will be able to get around behind. The guided frigate, I think, will have a missile launcher, but it could have photon torpedoes. It has both! Oh, interesting. Do we want... No, we're going to wait until we can get behind him. We don't want him to be able to hit us effectively. Although, the photon torpedoes he was using were quite good. It is the USS Lee. We once had a USS Lee, interesting enough. So we're going to turn a little bit more. And I think we'll increase speed by 2, because we can. And now we come out of cloak. So we're going to have to take a little bit of damage here. But first of our plasma torpedoes, he is going away at a startlingly high speed, but he won't be able to get away from this torpedo. So he did double mine, which is a bit of a pain. And that's a hit. And fire our second torpedo. We'll drag him out. We are going to take this mine on our starboard shield, which is alright. It's not the best shield, but it took it. So we did get through his stern shields. He has fired his missile. We are going to have to use our phasers. Oh crap, break away from this. Cloak. Let's see if we can break it with a cloak. Come on. Fully cloak. No, he's holding on to us. Not good. How do we get you to let go? I guess we're just going to have to beam struggle with this one. Tractor beam, repel beam, begin the repel, and fire back at him. So as long as we can, we'll put our shield up onto him, and we'll build up the repel beam as best as we can. We cannot afford to be here when that happens. Tractor beams. Whew! Thank you, the person who taught me that C key was the maximum track defenses. That just came in massive handy. We did take a damage through our shields. One of our plasma Fs is stunned. We're going to build some distance here, although that does kind of play into his advantage. We got to curl back in before he can get around his forward weaponry. That is a forward half phaser right there. So we're pulling around, skidding a little bit, getting that forward shield back on, and we're up to forward port now, which does have a little bit of defense. Our phaser 2 will have a nice shot on a drive-by. We're going to aim for this shield here, and all 3 phasers. There we go. Knocked it down, and we're coming back in. He did fire a missile, and we do, I believe, have a phaser that can take care of it. Unfortunately, it was one of our phaser 1s, which is our primary damaging phasers. How's the culprit doing? It's doing okay. Yeah, it's doing fine, more or less. Now we're in a decent-ish position to keep tracking him. Forward shield reinforced. Yeah, we are. Unfortunately, we can't allow him to get on our starboard side, but we are going to have to come in front of him. Fire all weapons back at him, and phaser 3 on the drive-by gets a couple of nice hits in. I do want to continue this turn to port, but I'm worried about that mine. So we're not going to be able to get around it, so we're going to have to, well, get underneath it, so we are going to have to get around it. So back to this, extending out, and let's cloak. Which is a little bit ironic because our plasma torpedo... Oh, portside plasma torpedo is not charging? Okay, weapons should be at a higher priority than the shield reinforcement, and it looks like that's not the case here. Are we not producing as much power? Huh. For some reason our portside plasma torpedo is not charging. We're going to come around this mine, sort of build in a little bit of distance. Frigate's not quite able to ignore mines. Our shields just... they're not powerful enough to avoid that. So why are you not charging? It's charging now. That's an interesting issue. Oh, I know why. At least I thought I knew why. Huh. So let's come out of cloak now, because now we're on his stern and we are chasing after him at a higher speed than he is maintaining. He will be able to turn around and get fully onto us, but we have defenses on all sides now. His G-Rack should have more ammunition, I believe. So let's prep Torpedo 3. Well, I guess it's Torpedo 2, but it's on our third hardpoint. And we'll strike out at him. It is going to knock into this shield, which won't be fantastic. And he knocked out our forward systems. Unfortunately, I needed those forward systems. And drive-by phaser 2. Got in. Dealt 17 damage right there. We did take a couple of nasty hits there. How are we doing on power? Power's good. So we're still okay here. He's on our starboard side, which means our port side phaser 1 can take care of that. No, we're going to need to use the port side phaser 1 to take care of you. So, come on. Alright, why is the port side phaser 1 not shooting you? It should be. Its arc is huge. Okay, so we have taken some hits through our shields, just like he has. We are still at full 20 power. I'm reluctant to spend any repair parts if we don't actually have any damage to the power system, and we don't have any actual, like, systems offline. So we're going to do another drive-by here. And I'd like to hit the open side there, but we did spread it out a little bit on his forward shields, cause a little bit of havoc. And I think we want to pick up some speed and get away from him. Now, we got to keep turning in. We'll put pressure on this forward starboard shield, and we are currently holding on to that, which is not good. Let's slow down a little bit. We're going to hit him with, I think, one phaser. So one phaser in. He responded with a phaser 3, which caused some damage, and still hasn't knocked the system out, although he has damaged the tractor beam. That tractor beam has been very important for us. Our starboard plasma torpedo is another turn away from being able to be used, so we've got to keep that in mind. If we lose that system, we're in a lot of trouble. Phaser 2 is ready for a drive-by, and we are at the range where it would be effective. So that was the Phaser 2, and now we're turning in, and our plasma torpedo is almost ready to go. We are opening ourselves up to a down-the-throat shot, but there's that plasma torpedo shot right on into him, and lash out with the Phaser 1, causing some good damage there. He's still active, though. So we're going to cut our, we're cutting our defensive tractor moves offline. Our port side plasma torpedo is almost ready to go. It's almost charged, so we're going to come in slowly. Again, keeping this shield up on him because we do not want to expose the ship. Don't have a choice anymore. So now we're going to turn fully on into this, slow down a little bit more, and we're going to fire that port side plasma torpedo just as soon as we can. Forward shields back, slow down. We don't want to get too close, otherwise we'll take splashback damage, and we really can't afford that. And there we go. That was the Federation ship destroyed. How's the culprit doing? Fairly well, actually. Alright, so do we need any patch jobs? Not really. We're good. So let's increase the speed of time. And the Orion leader has cloaked, so we're going to have to come in on him now. And we're just going to pick up some speed, spend this opportunity to prep both of our systems. We do have a single shuttle converted as well. Yes, we do. And our starboard side plasma torpedo is ready to go. Our port side plasma torpedo will be ready to go shortly. And our forward shield should be reinforced with the energy that we have. It's only... Wow, it is 9 points of energy. That's pretty surprising, actually. It does get us up to a bright red forward shield, although nothing higher than that. Pick up a little bit more speed. We want to get in there. The Dodger is our enemy. And the culprit not quite able to make great use of its phaser systems. It's taken quite a bit of damage. It's only phaser 2s. And the Orion vessel has cloaked once again. We have cloaking devices as well. However, our plasma torpedoes are ready to rock, and I'd like to hit him with them. So he's coming out of cloak. We're heading towards him. We're going to wait a little bit and fire now. Let's see what he does to react to this one. Select the phasers as a follow-up. He took it. Phasers, fire. Plasma torpedo. Crippled the vessel. Really damaged that phaser 3, which is the one I'm most concerned with. I'm not so worried about his disruptors. Disruptors are nice, and in frigate battles they can be really dangerous because they're so efficient on energy. It goes, I think, between 3 and 5 damage, even at range, which means, you know, when your maximum shield is like 10 or less, that can be really powerful. Although in this case it looks like he's lost one of it, his port side one. His main phaser stack is gone, and his starboard one is charging, although we'll have our twin forward phasers and taking care of him. I really kind of like this KR, the K5R. It's a nice ship. Really solid, reliable, the sort of vessel that you can really sit back and enjoy. Let's see how much prestige we actually managed to make for that one. Because I would imagine 200... Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. Not bad. We're at 598, which is not quite where we need to be as of yet. We did take a little bit of damage, so we're going to bring the Gigas back home. Not to a home planet, we're going to bring it to a station. So 10 points of repair, not bad. We still have both shuttles ready to go, and we're not going to buy any spare parts. We haven't used any, and also they cost a lot. Relatively speaking, for where we are in the campaign right now, they're very expensive. 2 mines, again, we haven't used them. Oh, we should remember, we do have nuclear space mines. That's important. A nuclear space mine is a hugely powerful mine. It deals something like 50 damage, but it can only be dropped out of the shuttle bay. 5 Marines is okay. So, shipyard, how are things? The FQS, so that's a Q ship. Really, we really want to save up for that 518, although there is always the War Eagle cruiser with its R-type plasma torpedo. It's tempting, because it's very Romulan. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the very first episode of Season 8. We have pushed out into the neutral zone, done a little bit of damage to some Federation vessels, proven that our vessel is quite capable of doing many, many things, and we will see where we can go from here. I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.